When reading our novels, it's very important that we try to find the theme that the author is trying to convey. The theme of a story is the meaning behind the events. A theme presents large issues of the human nature, such as friendship or courage. Friendship is an important theme in many stories, such as Charlotte's Web. The theme is woven in throughout the story. Think about a piece of thread in a garment. It may be stated directly, or it may simply be suggested by the characters, the way they act, and the events that take place. Authors often show theme through the characters' actions and words. Do you remember the fable about the tortoise and the hare? Watch this short little recording.
Once upon a time, there was a hare who was always bragging about how he could run faster than anyone else. He often teased the other animals about being slow, but he especially teased the tortoise, who seemed to be the slowest of all the creatures. One day, after many months of the hare teasing him, the enraged tortoise answered back, "Who do you think you are? There's no denying you're fast, but even you can be beaten." The hare squealed with laughter. "Who, me? Beaten in a race? Not you, certainly. My whiskers grow faster than you. Besides, I'm so speedy, I bet there's nobody in the world that can win against me. And just to prove it, I'll race you anytime." The tortoise had had enough and blurted out, "Okay, I accept your challenge." A course was pulled, and the next day at dawn, many other animals from the forest stood watching at the starting line. As they started, the hare yawned sleepily and just stood there for a few minutes as the gentle tortoise trudged slowly off. "Take your time. I'll have breakfast and a nap and catch up with you in a jiffy." The hare decided he might as well have breakfast, and off he went to munch some cabbage he had noticed in a nearby field. After the heavy meal, the hare decided to take a nap before winning the race. A few hours later, he awoke and was immediately worried that he had slept too long. But as he looked down the path, he realized that in all that time, the tortoise had only gone half the distance to the finish line. He laughed to himself as he looked at the tired tortoise trudging along with a look of determination on his face. "He might work hard, but he is no match for my speed. I can take another nap and wake up in plenty of time to beat that turtle." Smiling at the thought of the look on the tortoise's face when it saw the hare speed by, he fell fast asleep and was soon snoring happily. Later that day, the tortoise, who had been slowly walking towards the winning post since morning, was barely a yard from the finish. At that very moment, the hare woke with a jolt. He could see the tortoise a speck in the distance, and away he dashed. He leapt and bounded at a great rate, his tongue lolling and gasping for breath. Just a little more, and he'd be first at the finish. But the hare's last leap was a little too late, for the tortoise had beaten him to the winning post. The other animals cheered wildly for the tortoise. Poor hare, tired and in disgrace, he looked up at the tortoise, who was smiling. The tortoise slowly said to him, Why go at a speedy pace when slow and steady wins the race? The embarrassed hare realized that he should not have teased the tortoise for being slow. Even with his superior speed, the hard work and determination of the tortoise had won him the race. The end.
The hare was a much faster runner, but he played around during the race. He even stopped to take a nap. The tortoise kept on going, slowly but surely, and he won the race while the hare was napping. So, what do you think a good theme for this fable would be? Maybe slow and steady wins the race? Or maybe never give up? You could probably think of several other themes that would also be appropriate. When you look for theme in the story, think about the plot. What problem or conflict is presented in the story? How do the characters feel about the problem? What do the characters feel about the problem? And what is it that they do to solve it? I want you to pause the video and take a moment to read this story. Think about some of the issues we just mentioned and see if you can come up with what you think the best theme for this story would be. Pause the video. Benny loves to watch baseball, but he has used up all his money on this game. Now the game is over. As he stands up to leave, he finds a wallet on the bench. It has $10 in it. That's enough to buy him a ticket to another game. He could keep the money and leave the wallet, but that wallet and money belong to someone else. He would feel guilty. He looks inside the wallet for a name. Oliver! Oliver Randall! He shouts. Oliver Randall is down by the exit, but he comes back. Oliver's surprised to see his wallet. I didn't even know I lost it, he says. I'm so happy to get it back. He pulls something from his pocket, and he says, I want you to have my extra tickets to the rest of the games. Now, which of the following is the best theme for this story? What problems are presented in the story? Benny doesn't have enough money to go to more games, but then he finds a wallet with money. What is Benny's conflict in the story? Well, he has to decide what to do with the money. If he gives the money back, he can't go to another game. But if he keeps it, he'll feel guilty. So what does Benny have to do to solve this? He decides to find the owner and give it back. Now, which of the choices above are supported by the events in the story? There's no real evidence given to the story to support choice A. Choice B is probably true, but it's not the central idea of the story. Choice C is suggested by sentences 5 and 6, but it's not proven by the rest of the story. Choice D is the best answer. It is supported by Benny's actions in the story and the final result of the story in sentence 16. So when you look for the theme in a story, think about the plot. Again, what problem or conflict is presented in the story? How do the characters feel about the problem? What do the characters feel about the problem? And what is it that they do to solve it? You need to think about the theme of the 6th grade nickname game. What do you think it was? I want you to write 2 or 3 sentences stating what you think the theme was. And what evidence did the book provide for your decision? Be sure to use these points above to help you decide. You're going to type this into your Edmodo account and hit enter. This is an assignment. Submit the assignment. Good luck and have fun.